Hi, I'm Kelly Barham, and welcome to the August edition of Life Path. It's August, summer's winding down, soon the kids will be off to school and we'll all be back to our normal routines. So, we at Life Path hope that you've been incorporating some of the healthy lifestyle examples that we've showed you here on our show, so your normal routines can support you in living healthy and well. From nutritional choices for you and your family, to different forms of exercise, to reasons why chiropractic works. That is exactly what our show is all about this month. Stories that will help you in living a healthy lifestyle. For you, your family, and for anybody really. That is why it is so important that you share the information that you see on our show. Whether it is a friend, a coworker, or even someone in your own family. Sharing the information you learn on our show and opening their eyes to a chiropractic lifestyle can change lives for the better. As you're watching, however, should any questions arise from our show, don't be afraid to turn to your chiropractor. He or she can be a great source of additional information. So, last month we had a great short high-impact workout routine, but we know that's not for everybody. So this month we have the answer for you. We're joined once again by lifestyle educator Claire Syme with a simple morning stretching routine I know you'll love. Then we're off to visit Dr. Ben Shamoil of Ben Shamoil Chiropractic. Did you know some of the symptoms that you are experiencing may be related to the autonomic nervous system? If that word leaves you with a taste of your old science class, don't worry. I'm sure Dr. Ben will put it in terms you can understand. It's an important concept, so I can't wait until that story. Then, do you realize that the food you eat can be causing your pain? No, I don't mean that hot, spicy chili you had last night that gave you heartburn. I mean, the foods you choose to eat can actually affect your pain and how much pain you feel. Can you believe that? To learn more, I'll be sitting down with Dr. Harlan Sparer. I've been told he'll give us a great insight into pain foods and what that means and what they are. And for our final story, your chiropractic might have suggested maintenance care or talked to you about lifetime care. But what does that really mean? To give you a clear understanding of why lifetime chiropractic care is so important, we'll join a guest that has appeared on our show before, Dr. Miles Bodson of the Chiropractic Wellness Center. He's always informative, and I know you'll find his story of interest. But first, throughout this show and our other past shows, we've talked about healthy living, eating right, exercise, eliminating drugs and toxins from your life and your system, and of course, keeping yourself subluxation free by regularly visiting your chiropractor. But why? What is the ultimate goal of living this lifestyle? Well, that is what you need to ask yourself. What are your goals for your health? Do you want to live a life of sickness and disease, or a healthy, vibrant, active life to 70, 80, even 100? If that is the case, what are you actively doing? To explain more, Dr. Fred Schofield of Atlas Chiropractic is joining us in our studios to talk to you on a dream to live from 50 to 100. So let me get out of the way and let's bring in Dr. Schofield instead.
Okay, yes, okay. Whoa, hello my friends, how are you? Good to see you. Listen, I'll call you right back. Now, hang on a second, let me just get your name. My friends, that is not how you hold your cell phone, see? But it's good to be with you anyway. And we're going to spend few minutes, just a few minutes, but let me have your undivided attention. We're going to talk about dreaming. You know, everybody dreams. We all dream. In fact, dreaming is vital to life. And some remember their dreams and some don't remember their dreams. The key word is dream. And I desire that you dream of health. So you're going to dream your way to health. And we're going to use dream as the word so that it's easy to remember. I've been teaching it for 30 years. D, detoxify. R, rejuvenation, relaxation. E, exercise. A, alignment, atlas adjustment. M, mental attitude. Wow, there you've got the dream. So we'll cover them in depth. We're not going to get scientific today. Relax, enjoy it. If you use it, I've used it for 33 years. So, and I've never had any complications. Broken fingers, sure. But I've never been on any meds. I've never missed a day in 30 years of work. Why? Because I dream. That's why. Now, the first one is detoxify. You have to detoxify to get the balance between the acid and the alkaline. We're not going to get complicated. It's going to be quite easy. You take your Corella in the morning and the evening, and you detoxify with whole food nutrition. That means in the morning, we're going to eat some fruits. That's whole food. Yes. Maybe some eggs. Yes, we eat the whole egg. At lunchtime, we want the enchilada, the whole enchilada. Yes. And some salad. Love salad at lunchtime. Oh, my Lord. You're getting hungry already. Okay? And then in the evening, we have some protein and we have some vegetables. Always whole food. Sometimes we steam them. Sometimes we stir fry them. But we get the whole concept. So D stands for detoxify. Now, it's most important. Fruits in the morning. Fruits in the morning for children. You can do your whole family on the dream. R, relaxation, regeneration, rejuvenation. We're going to teach you how to put your spine as in spinal molding. So we put the cervical spine into a lordosis. We put a towel underneath our neck and put it in through a spinal molding. Oh, my, you're going to sleep. You do that for 10 minutes. Relax, release, and let go. Relax, release, and let go. Last time. Relax, release, and let go. As your spine is in its correct curves. Then you can regenerate. Why? Well, the body was designed to regenerate, you see. After you've detoxed, and then you fed all this whole food, now the body is regenerated. You don't move before you've regenerated. Surely you would feed the body the energy. Surely you would fill your car up with what? With fuel before you go on the journey. And then you'd check if you were going on a long journey or a short journey. You'd check on the road map and you'd do some preparation. That's what regenerating is. Now, have a little piece of paper and a pen so that if something is on your mind, you write it down and you lay there in the correct curves. All it is a rolled up towel. You can do it in any hotel. I travel all over the world and we do it every night. D-R-E, exercise. Now, exercise is complicated. They used to say go run 100 miles. Now they say don't run 100 miles. I mean, who knows what? Well, here is the whole concept. Exercise, aerobic and anaerobic. So put yourself in the balance. Go for a walk. Very healthy to go for a walk with your loved ones. Let's see some more families walking. It's good to be outside. The evenings are fantastic. And you've come home and you're exercising. And you release the negativity because those that exercise have more of a positive core. See? Because we believe in the concentric circle, which means we expand. The universe is expanding from the inside outward. From the earth, it sprouts upward. And sprout downward. It's rejuvenation. It's revitalization. Remember, variety is the spice of life. So we do some anaerobic. See, we stress it out, and then we de-stress. And it's in the recovery process that the cells get stronger. So we exercise. Ask your doctor about that. And about the spinal molding. And about the detox. A, alignment. Alignment. Atlas alignment. Why the atlas? Well, because that's where the brainstem is. Well, you want the brainstem. What happens if you have your sacrum out of alignment? This will create that. This will put the body in alignment. Why? Well, because the brainstem is everything. And when you have that atlas alignment, we do the 5 and 2 method. That means you get checked 2 days for every 5 days. That's 7 days a week. So like a Monday and a Wednesday, you get checked. Listen, the cyclists in the Tour de France, Lance Armstrong, got adjusted. 3 times a day, before they race, after they race, before they go to bed. If it's good for the professionals, don't you think it's good for us? Oh, of course it is, in alignment. And the third one is, the last aspect is mental attitude. Now, mental attitude's complicated. Why? Because we've got the triune. On the one side of the triune, we have the endocrine system. That's the emotional system, the glandular system. And there's 7 glands in the body. It's complicated, and they've all got to be working in harmony, all in alignment, all in alignment. 7. And then what? And then what? Then we have the trace minerals. Variety is the spice of life. Whole food nutrition. And detoxify is the most important part of that, to keep the alignment or the balance. Don't you get your tires realigned when there's balance in life? Yes. And then the bottom foundation of the neuromuscular skeletal system, the neuromuscular skeletal system. Without this, without physical joints, bones, ligaments, muscles, there's no movement. And remember, why do we love movement? Because the devil can't hit a moving target. Yeah, we got that one covered. Dream. Don't forget to dream. D, detox. R, rejuvenation, relaxation, release. E, exercise. A, alignment, atlas, adjustment. M, mental attitude. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I pray that you take this dream and you go and dream, and you can see how easy it is. It's not complicated. See, if it's simple, I didn't say it's not complex. I just said it's simple. And simple things are powerful things. Like an atlas adjustment, like a positive attitude, like exercising, like rest and relaxation, like detoxification. Dream. Dream your way to health. Because the most important thing in life is prevention. Prevention. What do they say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Prevention is the most important thing in your life. So dream your way to health. Ask your doctor. That's why we're here. Dream your health, and the byproduct is a healthy, vibrant life. God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Schofield. So, what is your dream? Have you ever considered living actively to 100? Remember, you have a choice. Health is in your hands. Like your chiropractor, we can only show you the way, but in the end, it's up to you. And don't forget your family too. The sooner your children are exposed to healthy living, the sooner you can give them an advantage in life. And what parent doesn't want that? Just imagine, if you knew then what you know now when it comes to making healthy choices in life, do you think you might have done things a little different? The past is the past. Look to the future, especially when it comes to your children. You want a better life for them? It's not too late. Get them adjusted. Show them how to eat right, exercise, and they too, like you, can come to celebrate their 100th birthday. And to get you started first thing in the morning, we have a great stretching routine for you that can help you start the day off right. That's important because lack of flexibility is the #1 aging factor. And we don't want you to age too quickly, now do we? So to help you start your day on a healthy note, whether you are young or old, let's join Claire Syme now.
As a personal trainer and massage therapist, I know that one of the most important components of a healthy lifestyle is flexibility. However, for most people, their flexibility routine is non-existent, even for those who exercise on a regular basis. When I ask my clients why they don't stretch, I hear a few reasons. The most common ones are, I don't know how, I don't have time, or it hurts. So what I've done is put together a few stretches that you can do from the moment you wake up in the morning while you're still laying in bed to get you up and get you going for the day, and you've gotten some of your flexibility routine in. I'm going to use the principles of AI, active isolated stretching. Active isolated stretching uses the body's natural mechanics in order to make stretching easy and comfortable. Let me give you an example of how AI works. Take my arm, for instance. You have the bicep. As I contract my bicep, the tricep needs to lengthen and relax in order for this action to happen. That is how our muscles work. So what AI does is it takes advantage of that muscle that's lengthening and relaxing and forces it into just a little bit deeper stretch. Of course, a gentle stretch. All right, let's get started. What you're going to need is a length of rope, or you might have a yoga strap. You can tie 2 belts together, or even a jump rope. Let's begin. The first stretch that we're going to do, and this is what you'll do while you're still laying in bed first thing in the morning, is the one leg pelvic tilt. The muscles that you're going to contract are your abdominals and your hip flexors. The muscles that are going to relax are your gluteals, and that helps release the low back. So what you're going to do is bend your leg, contracting your hip flexors, bringing your leg towards you, contract your abdominals. This helps release the gluteals. When your leg reaches your chest as far as it'll go, assist it gently and hold for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and release. You're going to want to do 10 repetitions on each leg. It sounds like a lot, but for 2 seconds it goes by quickly. The next stretch that we're going to do is the one leg or the bent leg hamstring. Take your length of rope or your belt, whatever you have on the floor by your nightstand that you've put there, wrap it around your foot right in the middle of your arch. This is going to stretch your hamstring, and we're going to contract the quadricep. So what you want to do is contract your hip flexors and your quadricep, bring your leg towards you slightly, using the quadricep to bring your foot towards the ceiling. All right, do not use your rope to force the stretch. You want to use your quadricep muscle, which will make your hamstring relax, and when you get as far as you can go, a slight assist with the rope, hold for 2 seconds, and relax. Now you might be down here, you might be here, but gradually your flexibility will increase if you do this every day. Remember, do 10 repetitions on each side. All right, now it's time to sit up. For this one, we're going to be stretching, this is called trunk extensors. So it's the muscles from the base of your neck all the way down to where they attach in your low back. You're going to put your feet flat on the bed, or you might be on the floor. You're going to contract your abdominals, pulling you forward. You want your chin to your chest to lengthen these muscles. Remember, don't force your stretch by pulling onto your legs. Allow your abdominals to contract, pulling you forward as far as you can go, and then slightly assist, hold for 2 seconds. Oh, that's a nice stretch. Okay, now we're ready to swing our legs onto the side of the bed. The next stretch that we're going to do is the medial hip rotators. This is going to open up your hips and create space. What you're going to do is take your leg, cross it over the other one, put your ankle right in front of your knee. Use the side muscles of your leg and your hip to bring your knee towards the ground. So don't force it. Use those muscles first. When it's as far as it'll go, slightly assist, hold for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and release. Good. Now don't forget to do the other side. Ankle in front of the knee. Use the muscles on the side of your leg and your hip to bring your knee to the floor. Press, assist gently. Hold for 2 seconds and release. Good. Now we're ready to stand up. So for this one, we're going to stretch and open your shoulder muscles. This is called shoulder circumduction. Contract your abdominals, lean forward, relax and let go. Start by making small circles with your arms, gradually getting bigger. Then you're going to reverse that. When you're at home, you can take more time and really get into the stretch. You're going to stand up slowly. The next stretch that we're going to do is the lateral trunk stretch. So you're going to contract one side of your body, and this will cause the other to relax and stretch. Put your hand behind your head. Contract your obliques, so the side of your body. Keep your hand along the side of your leg to keep your alignment, and reach for that little indentation along your knee. And up. Remember to hold for 2 seconds when you're there. Then you're going to want to repeat on the other side. So now you're standing, you've stretched, and you're ready to go for the day. Be well.
Thank you, Claire. Can you take a few minutes and start each day like that? Whether you're off to start your workday or continuing with another form of exercise after that, flexibility is one of the keys to a long and healthy life. So I hope you'll give it a try. Now, moving on, have you heard of the term autonomic nervous system? Maybe something from science class long ago, I'm sure. Or what about parasympathetic and sympathetic? Now, I'm not here to make you relive high school. I'd like to talk to you about these systems because if you or anyone you know suffers from hypertension, insomnia, or even anxiety, these terms play an important role in the expression of these symptoms. To find out more and help you understand how chiropractic adjustments help in keeping these systems working properly, let's join Dr. Ben Shamor.
Hi, do you know how hypertension and anxiety are related? You might be sitting in your office right now and it might be you or somebody you love and know that might be suffering from anxiety, insomnia, hypertension. We're going to talk about how chiropractic can help you live a better life and reduce these risks without medication. Now, first we got to understand what's going on. How does hypertension work? Well, we're going to talk about the nerve system. If you've been in your chiropractor's office, you better know about the central nerve systems, the nerves coming down your spine, and how they go through your vertebrae to attach to all the organs, tissue, and cells in your body. Now, this nerve system is broken down to the autonomic nerve system, and that's broken down. We have the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. These two regulate how your body functions. The parasympathetic is for relaxing, for feeding, for breeding, and it's called the feed and breed. It's called the parasympathetic. You have the other system, which is called the sympathetic. Okay? The sympathetic nerve system is in charge of fight or flight. You should have heard that before. Fight or flight is to protect you. Thousands of years ago, we had this mechanism built in because we didn't have much to protect us. So we either fought or we ran. And this mechanism takes over your body. So no matter if you're in pain, no matter if whatever's going on, when this mechanism kicks in, it takes your body to another level so you can flee or you can fight. Now, as we've grown, we're not being attacked by lions anymore. We're not in the wilderness. Now we're in offices. We're in traffic. We have families. We got all of these things going on in our lives that bring stress. And as we have more stress, sometimes by deadlines, whether it's in school, whether it's at work, we have bills that we have to take that bring us emotional stress. We have events like death and birth that could be very emotional. And we have chemicals such as Red Bull and Monster drinks that overwhelm our system to amp us up, like amp drink. That's exactly what it says. So we have physical, chemical, and emotional stress that rise our sympathetic up and bring our parasympathetic down. Now this is great for short-term events, maybe a few hours, maybe even a few days. But it's absolutely not good for long terms. And more chiropractors are finding our patients are stuck in this sympathetic system. They're constantly under stress, whether it's emotional, chemical, or physical. What this does to the cells, it constantly overwhelms them. It's asking them to produce more results right now. It's a fight or flight mechanism. It's stressing you out. And after weeks, months, or years, our bodies get stuck in this pattern of constant tension. You could see it. You might go to the work in the morning, or you might go to school in the morning and you're calm. But as you leave, as the day goes on, your body starts to become tense. This is the mechanism of the fight or flight technique. So what do we want? What's our goal in our chiropractic office? Our goal in our chiropractic office is to get your body back in balance through the adjustment. As we bring more peace and balance into the spine, we'll notice that this sympathetic and the parasympathetic come back into proper balance, and they'll shift, but most people are stuck in this really crazy out of balance alignment. Okay, so what organs are affected? You might find that your thyroid is overwhelmed. If you're taking Synthroid, this could be a sympathetic situation. If you're taking medication for high blood pressure, check with your chiropractor and your doctor. This might be a out of balance, autonomic being out of balance. So this is what we want you guys to do, because it's not just not only does it affect the thyroid, and not only does it affect the adrenals, but your liver, your heart is constantly under this adrenaline stress. And that's what adrenals make. It's adrenaline, epinephrine. So too much of this in your body damages the cell tissues, damages your liver, because your liver constantly has to clean this stuff out, leaving you in a hypertension state. You might be suffering from cold hands and feet, because some of the side effects of adrenaline are constricting of the arteries, won't let blood get to the hands and feet, so you're suffering with constant cold hands and feet. You might not know that your sympathetic might be out of alignment. Okay, so talk to your chiropractor. You might find out that you're not getting any sleep. Your heart rate is constantly beating out of your chest. This could be a subluxation to the adrenals or to the sympathetic autonomic nerve system. That's why your chiropractor is trained to not only to detect the subluxation, but to see how your body's working in and out of balance, bring you back to homeostasis so you can have cells that function properly and have you living a better life. Some of you might have noticed after your adjustments, you sleep better because the parasympathetic and the sympathetic system is back in balance. This is what chiropractors are bringing to the table. Now imagine your whole family. Now, you parents out there, I'm watching your kids come into my office with these 24-ounce Monster drinks and these Red Bull drinks. If they're doing this at a young age, I'm going to tell you, their 40s and 50s are going to have some difficulty. You could understand that now, right? So get your children checked. Have them be in balance. If they're fatigued, we don't want to pump them up with all these drugs. If you're fatigued and you're suffering from hypertension, let's look at a natural method to get your body back into balance so you could be out there doing what you love and not chained down to some medication that you're going to be taking for the rest of your life. Come on. All right, so let's take a look. Let's see what we got to do to live better, bring our body back into balance. And weekly chiropractic care could help you and your entire family live a more balanced, powerful life. That's why your doctor wants you and everybody in there. So I want to thank you guys. Please talk to your chiropractor. Let them know if you know somebody who's suffering from hypertension, anxiety, just too stressed out. Let's live better. Let's have our communities live better. We got our communities living better. We're going to have our world living better. I want to thank you guys for spending that time with me. I appreciate you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. Can you now see the elements of the autonomic nervous system in our lives and the importance that chiropractic can play in keeping you well? You know, we undeniably live in a stressful world. Emotional, chemical, and physical stresses all have an effect on your autonomic nervous system. And with that, of course, your health. Because your brain, spinal cord, and peripheral nerves are all interconnected and working together, your chiropractor who removes the interference through chiropractic adjustment can keep your nervous system communicating freely. And that is so important to your health. That is exactly why chiropractic can help you in living not only symptom and pain-free, but also healthy and well into the hundreds. It does take taking care of oneself by making healthy choices, however. One of them relates to what we eat. That is why I'd like to talk to our next guest about pain foods, foods that can actually increase pain and sensitivity in our bodies. Would you like to find out more? Well, follow me to join Dr. Harlan Sparrow now. Did you know the foods you eat can enhance the pain you're already experiencing? Neither did I. Today we're going to learn about that. Again, we're with Dr. Harlan Sparrow. How are you today, Dr. Harlan? Good to see you. How are things going?
Great, thanks, Kelly.
Okay, my understanding is that the foods we eat can make the pain we're experiencing worse. How can that be?
Well, it all boils down, ultimately, to how a nerve transmission occurs. How is pain transmitted? Now, if you look at the illustration I provided, you'll see that there are nerves that connect to each other. Well, almost connect, but they're very close. And an electrical potential or a charge or a little shock gets transmitted along the nerves. That's all fine and good. Now what happens is, once that transmission of pain sensation gets transmitted, it goes back into the spinal cord. Now once it gets into the spinal cord, the filtration process begins. The filtration process, essentially, is not every pain message gets transmitted into pain in the brain. For instance, if I poke you like this,
Okay.
you feel it.
Okay.
Does it hurt?
No.
Exactly. But if we lower the threshold of perception, or basically if we make it easier for the message to get to your brain, when I do this, it's going to hurt you. Now, by the same token, the body works the same way by filtering out messages from the cells, from the skin, from the body into the brain. Now, this gets really important because we're dealing with one of the mediators for pain perception, and that is prostaglandin 2, also known as PGE2.
PGE2. What is PGE2? I don't understand this.
Now,
and I don't think anybody else does either, so
and you know,
layman's terms.
it's not something that has to intimidate you.
Okay.
Think of it as something that the body makes that affects the way nerve transmission is affected. In plain English, when you have more PGE2, your perception of pain is heightened. In other words, if I poke you like this, you're going to go, ow! That's the difference when you have an excess of PGE2.
PGE2. So what causes our PGE2 to increase, I guess, is a good question.
Well, basically what happens is there are some really lovely foods that are very, very commonly present in the American diet. Notably, soda pop, caffeine, wheat, gluten, omega-6 oils, you know, in French fries. You've got a number of pain-inducing foods, and they induce pain, and they increase pain and the body's perception of pain by forcing the body to make more PGE2.
So how does the body do that?
Well, the body is going to take something when you eat it, and it's going to make it into cells or cellular substances in any way it can before it's going to excrete it or eliminate it. So what it does is when it sees an excess of omega-6 oils, as an example, which are present in the oil in the French fries, the grease in the hamburger, things like that.
Okay.
The body's going to say, oh, we've got to do something with this nutrient. I have an idea. Let's make more PGE2. But the body already has enough PGE2. So what happens is you have an excess of it. Now, once you have an excess of it, you have a problem. The problem you have is now this PGE2 is going to start having effects. One effect it's going to have is it's going to make the pain perception increase. So something that's like a little ow becomes a big ow.
Which isn't good.
That's a not good thing. The other thing that's not good is it increases the amount of swelling in a swollen area. So in other words, if you cut yourself or bump yourself and it gets a little swollen, with the excess of PGE2, it's going to get more swollen. If you have arthritis or some autoimmune problem, it's going to make the effect worse.
So the foods, for example, the bad foods, are going to enhance this pain and all the things you're talking about. What about gluten, refined sugars? Refined sugar is a better word.
We've been in Arizona too long.
Yeah, I have. It's very hot. So that's my question. You've got all this refined sugar. We've been talking about that for a while. The bad oils, the bad sugars, gluten and wheat. All this is going to make it worse?
Exactly. These substances, these food substances, and I use that in a quote, these food substances will increase the production of PGE2. And the last thing we need at this point, if we're in a chiropractic office, is more PGE2.
Wow. So what can we substitute to get rid of all that, besides just eliminating it?
Right.
Well, that's a good step. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly. Well, if you look at some of the food on the table, you'll notice that something like olive oil is an omega-3. Avocado, omega-3. Salmon, omega-3. And there are many forms of omega-3 oils. Now, the omega-3 oils will have a positive effect, whereas the omega-6 oils get converted into PGE2. Your oils that are fried, typically. And I think eliminating fried foods helps. You can substitute gluten-free breads or eliminate gluten entirely. That helps tremendously. And refined sugar, you can substitute unrefined sweeteners, like stevia as a perfect example.
What about raw sugar? I keep seeing this thing called raw sugar. I mean, are you just trying to eliminate sugars, period?
Well, basically all the sugars will have this effect. The refined sugars will be worse.
So what is stevia then?
Stevia,
Thank you.
Stevia is a really amazing substance. It's made from the leaves of a plant. It has 0 calories. It has 0 glycemic impact. Basically, in English, it's everything you want in a sweetener without the sweetener.
Wow.
So it tastes sweet, but it doesn't make anything sweet in terms of the effect on your body.
Okay.
But it does on your palate.
So, I mean, you're saying eliminate fried foods. What about frying with, say, olive oil, even lightly? I mean,
well, anytime you heat an oil, you're going to affect a change in the oil. The higher you heat the oil, or the longer you heat the oil, the more deleterious the effect. Basically, if you deep fry something, it's going to be worse than if you pan fry it. If you pan fry it for a brief period of time, it's going to be less bad than if you pan fry it for a long period of time.
okay. So basically, what we're talking about here is eliminating the bad stuff. We've talked about it before, putting in good, healthy foods as substitutes. And the side effect of this is what?
Health.
Great health.
And you know, part of it is it's this constant quest on the part of many allopathic healthcare providers to find the cure for chronic health.
Cure for chronic health. What do you mean by that?
Well, basically, we'd like to be healthy. We don't need something to interfere with it, and this interferes with it.
I see. Well, this is great. Good, healthy food. Get rid of the bad stuff. Side effect is good health. Healthy life, healthy living. Dr. Harlan, again, this has been great.
Thank you, Kelly.
Let's live healthy and eat healthy. Thank you. I always love visiting with Dr. Harlan, so I hope that you too got something out of his visit. Perhaps a new perspective on what we eat. You know, the human body is so responsive to everything that we do and don't do, and that in turn has a gradual effect on your health. So next time you reach for those French fries, greasy hamburger, and a soft drink, and I know we do, ask yourself, will this benefit my life? And I say life because life and health are so interconnected. The choice, however, is always yours. And I'm sure you're making good choices already, like your excellent choice of being at a chiropractor's office right now. Well, this brings me to our final story. If you've ever heard your doctor mention maintenance care or lifetime care, what does that mean? And why should you consider this type of care for yourself and your family? To better explain why lifetime chiropractic care should be a part of everyone's health plan, let's join Dr. Miles Bodson now. Dr. Miles?
So your doctor may have been talking to you about the need for lifetime care with chiropractic, and you might be asking, why do I need to go to a chiropractor the rest of my life? Well, I addressed in a prior video that I did why you might have needed care for 6 months, 8 months, a year or so to accomplish correcting your spine or getting well. But now that you're well, why would you continue doing this? Well, there's a lot of benefits to getting chiropractic care on an ongoing basis. Those benefits primarily, when I'm talking with patients, are you get adjusted to stay healthy. It keeps you well. And you might ask, well, how does that happen? How does that work? What is it about getting your spine adjusted that keeps you well? Well, it's exciting that in today's world, there's been so much research that has been done, and the studies out right now, for example, that show that people who get adjusted, their blood pressure is lower. People who get adjusted have stronger immune systems. In fact, people who get adjusted once a week versus those who get adjusted less often, those people are healthier. So it's not either you did it once a year versus nothing. We're talking about you're consistently coming in for what we refer to as wellness care. And chiropractic, just like, for example, you go to the gym ongoing, you only benefit as long as you're doing it. Drinking bottled water, eating fruits and vegetables, heck, even brushing your teeth, you only benefit for as long as you're doing it. I mean, do you ever imagine a day you're going to stop brushing your teeth, assuming you have your teeth? Okay. Do you ever imagine a day that you're going to not eat healthy? I mean, you're always going to attempt to eat healthy. You're going to do these things ongoing, and you only benefit as long as you're doing them. Now, chiropractic falls in that same category. It's something you benefit from while you're doing it. And there's benefits that go in the future. Don't get me wrong. It's not as if you stopped today, for example, you were going to suddenly not benefit any longer. But over a period of time, those benefits will no longer be there. You'll no longer have the ongoing benefits. So that's where people use what's called ongoing chiropractic lifetime wellness care. And I'll share something with you. There's actually several types of ongoing care people can benefit from, and I'll just share them with you. One is what we call maintenance care, and maybe your doctors use that term with you, maintenance care. I got to tell you what maintenance care really is it's to maintain your spine. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be healthier, although you are compared to the average person out there, but it's maintaining the health of your spine, and ultimately you're going to come in as infrequently as possible to have that happen. And we find for most people it's about every 2 or 3 weeks they come in for an adjustment or a checkup. We check their spine. And then what we call wellness care. And wellness care is you're choosing to come in every week because what we see is you're just healthier. Your immune system is stronger. And for those who are wondering, how is it that getting your spine adjusted affects your health more than just, oh, it's my spine, it's affecting my spine. Well, we know we have our brain with our spinal cord and our nerves going out to all parts of our body. And when our spine is in proper alignment, all of that's working better. Our nervous system is working better. Our master control system is able to regulate our body the way it's supposed to. But here's something you may not be aware of. In today's world, we now know the immune system and the nervous system are completely interrelated. You can't actually affect one without affecting the other. There's actually a term that's actually used now called psychoneuroimmunology. The science of psychoneuroimmunology. You've heard about how the brain affects our health. That's the psycho part, okay? And then there's the neuro part, which is the nerve, and immunology, the immune system. It's all tied together, and you can't affect one without affecting the other. So if your nervous system isn't working as well, guess what? Your immune system isn't working as well. And everybody knows, and I know you watching this right now, you know without a strong immune system, you're not nearly as healthy. You're susceptible to infections, you're susceptible to colds, to flus. In fact, one of my favorite experiences with a patient in my own practice is when someone calls and says, Doc, I can't come in, or they talk to the receptionist, I can't come in, I'm not feeling well. And my receptionist says, no, you got to come in, you got to help you, because they haven't learned this yet. And they come in, and unfortunately they're fighting something. They have a flu that they're fighting or a cold. And I explain to them, I can explain to you, when you get adjusted, it stimulates your immune system. And in all circumstances, in all likelihood, you're going to experience feeling worse before you feel better. You're going to actually feel your fever come on stronger. You might feel perspiration. You might go home and feel really wiped out, almost as if someone hit a fast forward button on what you're experiencing. And I explain it to the patient. They get adjusted. They come back the next day and say, "Doc, you were absolutely right. All night I sweated. I had my fever spiked, but today I feel like $1,000,000. It's like someone hit a fast forward button." That's a perfect example of what it feels like to go through what I call a healing crisis, where you feel like you're in crisis, but it's really a healing process. All of the normal functions of the immune system really get fired up, and you recover that much quicker. So it's routine that when people are getting adjusted under wellness care, at least in my experience, is when they do get susceptible to something and they have something like a cold or flu, they get through it quicker. Or more likely, they just don't get these things like patients routinely say, and you might have experienced, all my colleagues at work got the cold or quote unquote the flu this season, but I didn't get it suddenly, and meaning the patient. So what is the main benefit of lifetime wellness care? You being healthy, you not getting sick as often, okay? You keeping your immune system strong. And I know for a fact, I mean, I see it with my own kids, I see it with the kids of the parents that we take care of and all the young babies with the ear infections and all of these types of things, that they just recover better. And we now know why. The reason being is when you get adjusted, not only does it affect your nervous system, but more importantly, it affects your immune system. Have a great one. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Dr. Miles. So, would you ever stop going to your dentist for routine checkups? I hope not. Well, I hope that you now understand that having your spine checked by your chiropractor is just as important. Regular visits to your chiropractor along with healthy lifestyle choices can help you in living a healthy life. Your health is in your hands, so ask yourself, what can I do today that will make me healthier tomorrow? And next month, we hope to see an even healthier you. But until that time, I want to thank all of our guests this month in helping to spread the word of chiropractic and in helping people live healthier lives. Remember, the information you learned today is so important. Don't let it end here. Share the information you've learned on this month's show with people that you come across in your life. By spreading the word, you may help someone else find the benefits of chiropractic for themselves and their loved ones, and with that, change their lives for the better. So pick up a few of your doctor's cards and spread them around. Meanwhile, if you have any questions on what you've seen on this month's episode of Life Path, talk to your chiropractor. He or she is a great source of information that can help you in living healthy and well. So until next month, enjoy the path of a healthier, natural way of life, and don't forget to turn the power on to your own health and healing, and someone else's too. Spread the word and live your dream.